With me, once again, on set, because he has been a guest in the past, is Larry Jaffee. And today we're going to be talking about this book, Record Store Day. It is the most improbable comeback of the 21st century. That's the little side note by Larry Jaffee. Larry, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thanks, Donna.
I got to see you at Record Store Day. So tell us, what is Record Store Day?
So Record Store Day is a global holiday that happens usually in April, and record stores throughout the world celebrate vinyl records. The reason I call the book The Most Improbable Comeback of the 21st Century is 20 years ago, everybody thought that this format was dead and buried.
Yes.
Now, it was always a little bit there. DJs, audiophiles, they kept it going. But it was a blip on the radar screen. So a bunch of independent record stores in 2007 just saw Tower Records go out of business, and they were like, do we have a future? So they came up with an idea, and they said, well, maybe we should celebrate what we do. We're really important to our communities. And about 150 stores in the US came up with traded ideas, and somebody said, comic book publishers have their holiday, so why don't we have one? And that's how the Record Store Day concept came about.
I love that. You have a large collection of vinyl. How many pieces do you have, you think?
Well, now I have about 4,000, but I had 4,000 one time ago.
Okay.
And what happened in 2010, I sold most of that original collection. I was just disenchanted with the business, and I was looking to do something different, and iTunes was all the rage at the time. I was feeding my CDs into my computer and digitizing them. I was like, well, maybe I really don't need to carry all this stuff around. And then within 2 years, I realized what a huge mistake I made.
And you decided to collect again.
I did. And the way I came back into it is really interesting. I was selling more CDs. By that point, most of my records were gone. And I was going through the dollar bin waiting for my friend, my new friend. His name is Tim. He has a store in Northport called Record Reserve. He was about to tell me how much money he was going to give me, and I was going through his dollar bin, and I found this interesting burlesque record, jazz record. And I said to myself, I bet you the music on this is fantastic. So I said, well, I was about to give him $1. He goes, keep it. And then I put it, I still had a turntable at home. I put it on, and I was back. I felt like Al Pacino in Godfather 3.
You're like, I'm back. What can people expect in this book?
So it chronicles how Record Store Day began and how it grew year after year with exponential growth.
Okay.
And how it grew into internationally. It's celebrated in over 50 countries on every continent except Antarctica, actually.
Now, as a writer, some of the stories that you've included, do you have like some little celebrity tidbits woven in and things like that?
Yeah, so plenty of great musicians, like Dave Grohl, for example, from Foo Fighters, worked in record stores. So there's dozens of musicians who lent their support to Record Store Day right from the start. Jack White, for example, he's among 5 or 6 different musicians who provided essays for the book. And now I had the great honor of presenting the book to Jack at his concert in April in Brooklyn.
Oh, congratulations. That must have been
Thanks.
fun.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And he and I know each other already, because one of the other things I do is I run a business-to-business conference about the rebirth of the record manufacturing industry. In fact, your executive producer, Lou Vaccarelli, is a friend of mine from the record industry.
Yes, he spent many years in the record industry as head of production for many, many years. I think he's worked on over 100,000 albums. So, and you have 4,000 of them probably. So, but it's interesting what people have done with their vinyl records. Like now they've melted them into bowls, and people have plastered them as wallpaper, in their dens and things like that. But now with it coming back, people probably are like, oh, why did I hot glue, that piece of vinyl to the wall instead of keeping it?
Well, I
So,
realize it's not only baby boomers of our generation who were trying to rekindle something from our youth. That was definitely me. There was something missing in my life, and I realized how much I missed this whole culture. But it's also millennials. Like my daughter is 24, and she called me when she was in college a few years ago, and she said, "Are you still doing that record thing?" So I said, "Yeah." She says, "I think I want a record player."
and you got a record player.
Yeah, so when she came back from college, we would go record shopping and spend. Now her older brother would put the cover up on the wall, but he would not. He's not that interested. He has everything on his phone.
Well, it's a treat to have you here once again.
Thanks,
I wish
Donna.
you all the joy and continued success. And do you have a favorite piece of vinyl that you just will not part with?
Yeah, I think my favorite book, my favorite record is Patti Smith, Horses. And I'm reading a book now called Why Patti Smith Matters.
Okay.
So it's like right at top of mind right now.
I love it. Well, we would love to hear your vinyl memories. So if you have a favorite record that you want us to give a shout out to, please reach out to us through all our social media. And thanks for watching.